Let me ask you something. How many times have you felt unstoppable, maybe for a day or a week, and then, just like that, you quit? Statistically, over 86% of people abandon their goals in less than 30 days. And no, it's not because you're lazy or because you lack potential. It's because you were relying on something that was never designed to last. Motivation. But today, we're going to break that cycle because I am about to show you why discipline wins every single time. And more importantly, how you can build it starting today. Stay with me till the end of this video, because the next 15 minutes can literally change the trajectory of your life. Let me tell you a story. 2 years ago, I was on fire. I started waking up at 5 a.m., going to the gym, journaling, meal prepping, and I felt unstoppable for exactly 12 days. But on day 13, I skipped my workout. Day 14, I snoozed my alarm. And by day 15, I told myself, I'll start again next Monday. Sound familiar? Because here's the brutal truth. Motivation is a liar. It whispers in your ear when things are easy, but it disappears the second things get hard. The worst part is, we're conditioned to chase it like addicts, waiting for the perfect mood, the right vibe, or that Monday energy. But here's the thing. Winners don't wait. They build discipline, and discipline doesn't care how you feel. But what actually is discipline? Is it mental toughness or grit? Is it waking up at 4 a.m. and running 10 miles barefoot like a Navy SEAL? No. Let's cut through the Instagram. Discipline is simply doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. But how do you build that? How do you wake up at 6 a.m. when your bed feels like paradise? AMs no. How do you study when Netflix is calling your name? Stick with me, because in the next section, we're diving into the actual science of discipline. And trust me, what you're about to learn will change the way you see motivation forever. Before we dive deeper, if you're serious about building life-changing habits, hit that like button right now. It helps this video reach more people and shows me you're recommitted. Let's talk brain chemistry for a second. Stay with me. This part's critical. Your brain runs on chemicals, and two of the biggest players when it comes to action taking are dopamine and serotonin. Dopamine is your reward and motivation chemical. It spikes when you're excited about something, like when you set a new goal, or when you scroll through Instagram and see motivational quotes. But here's the catch. Dopamine is short-lived. It's like sugar, a quick spike, followed by a hard crash. That's why you feel hyped one day and empty the next. Now serotonin, that's your contentment and stability chemical. It builds slowly over time, through consistent actions and repetition, through discipline. And here's the neuroscience-backed truth. The more you repeat a disciplined action, the more your brain starts to associate it with positive emotional stability. You're literally rewiring your neural pathways, creating what scientists call a habit loop. Cue, action, reward, repeat. So every time you hit snooze, you strengthen the avoidance loop. And every time you get up anyway, you strengthen the discipline loop. Quick challenge. Pause the video for 5 seconds and type below. Discipline loop activated. Let's make this real. Now, I want you to do something for me. Think back to the last time you followed through on something difficult. Maybe it was finishing a workout, submitting that project, or waking up on time. How did it feel? That tiny hit of pride. That little voice saying, yes, I did it. That's your brain rewarding consistency. That is discipline in action. You're already capable of this. You've done it before. Now imagine stacking that feeling day after day, week after week, until it becomes who you are. If you're still watching, that means you're serious. So here's the deal. Smash that like button. Leave a comment below saying, discipline over everything. And when you're ready, click over to the next section, because now we're diving deep into how to build your own unbreakable discipline system. Welcome back. If you're still here, that already says something about you, because you're not just interested, you're committed. In this section, we're going deep into the actual science behind discipline and how to rewire your brain for consistency that truly sticks. Let's start with this question. Why does motivation feel like a roller coaster? One day, you're unstoppable, and the next day, you can't even get out of bed. The answer lies in dopamine. Here's how it works. When you set a new goal, dopamine spikes. That's your brain saying, "This is exciting, let's go." But dopamine isn't built for long-term sustainability. It's designed for short bursts. Evolutionarily, dopamine was meant to help you chase food or run from danger, not to write your book or hit the gym for 90 days straight. When the dopamine spike crashes, that's when most people quit. But here's what nobody told you. There's a different system at play. A slower, more stable, and more powerful chemical pathway. That's where discipline lives. Discipline lives inside your basal ganglia, a deep part of your brain responsible for habits. Here's how the loop works. Cue, action, reward, repeat. Every time you perform a behavior, you strengthen a neural pathway, like carving a deeper groove in a dirt road. Eventually, that road becomes the path of least resistance. Let me give you an example. If every morning you wake up, brush your teeth, and immediately do 10 push-ups, your brain starts linking teeth, brushing with movement. After a few weeks, you'll do it without thinking. Think about this. What's one small action you could stack onto an existing habit? Because this is how discipline becomes automatic. Pause this video right now and drop in the comments. My first discipline stack will be, and then your habit. Let me tell you about James. James was a software engineer, struggling with morning anxiety. He'd hit snooze 5 times every day, but after learning about habit stacking, he made one change. After turning off his alarm, he immediately drank a full glass of water and did 1 minute of jumping jacks. Simple, right? But within 3 weeks, his mornings felt completely different because James wasn't relying on willpower anymore. He built a system, and here's the kicker. Discipline isn't about doing huge things. It's about small, repeatable actions that compound over time. Let that sink in. Now, I want to introduce you to the 3 levels of discipline. Level 1 is initiation discipline. Starting the task, getting out of bed, opening the laptop, or putting on your gym clothes. Level 2 is execution discipline. Sticking with the task, finishing the workout, writing the full page, completing the study session. Level 3 is repetition discipline. Doing it again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. Most people focus only on level 1, but real change happens at level 3. So, which level are you currently struggling with? Take a moment to think about that. All right, if this is clicking with you, if you're starting to see discipline not as punishment, but as your freedom tool, here's what I want you to do. Type below, level 3 discipline. Let's go. Smash that like button and get ready. Because in the next section, we're building your custom discipline system with exact steps you can follow starting today. Welcome back. So far, you've learned why motivation fails and how discipline is built inside your brain. Now, it's time for the part everyone's been waiting for. The blueprint, your step-by-step system to create unbreakable discipline and finally stay consistent no matter what happens. First, you need to define your non-negotiables. Those actions you commit to doing no matter your mood, how tired you are, or how chaotic life gets. For example, 10 push-ups per day, writing 100 words in your journal, meditating for 2 minutes, or drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up. Notice, these aren't huge tasks. They're small, achievable, and repeatable. Think about this. What's one small action you're willing to do, even on your worst days? Pause the video right now and type in the comments. My non-negotiable will be. And your action? Next, you need an anchor, a trigger, something you already do every day. Why? Because building habits from scratch is 10 times harder than attaching them to existing habits. This is called habit stacking, and it's a game changer. Here's how it works. After existing habit, I will new habit. For example, after brushing your teeth, write 1 line in your gratitude journal. After making coffee, do 10. After turning off your computer, meditate for 2 minutes. You're not fighting time or motivation. You're using behaviors your brain already does automatically. Pause for 10 seconds and write. My anchor habit will be, and your trigger. Now, something many people skip: tracking. Your brain loves visible proof of progress because it releases small dopamine spikes and creates momentum. You can use a wall calendar marking an X on the days you complete your habit. Apps like Habitica, Streaks, or Habit Ball, or a simple checklist in a notebook. Psychologists call this the commitment effect. Once you see your streak, you'll do almost anything not to break it. Imagine looking at your calendar and seeing 30 X's in a row. Do you really want to break that streak? My streak. Let's fuel this engine. One reason people hate discipline is that it feels like punishment. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can create micro rewards that release small dopamine hits right after completing your habit. For example, after journaling, listen to your favorite song for 5 minutes. After working out, take a cold shower or drink a protein shake. After studying, watch a short YouTube video. By associating discipline with positive feelings, you train your brain to crave that action. Think about this. What small reward can you give yourself today after completing your habit? Right? My reward will be, and your reward. This part is crucial because discipline fails in bad environments. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if your room is messy, your phone is buzzing constantly, and junk food is within reach, you'll falter. So here's what you do. Keep distractions out of sight. Prepare your space the night before. Use app blockers like Forest or Freedom. Lay out your workout clothes. Fill your water bottle. Your environment can work for or against you. Choose wisely. Pause and write in the comments. Optimizing my environment today. Let's do a quick summary of your discipline system in 5 steps. 1. Define your non-negotiables. 2. Anchor to an existing habit. 3. Track your progress visibly. 4. Reward yourself immediately. And 5. Control your environment. Each step builds on the last, and when you stack them, you create discipline that lasts even on your worst days. Now, here's your challenge. Pick one of these steps and implement it today. Then come back tomorrow for the next video, where we'll talk about staying disciplined when life throws chaos into your routine. Before you go, like the video, comment "discipline system activated," and share with someone who needs consistency. We're building something powerful together. Here we are. You've learned the science behind discipline. You've built your system. But now it is time to address the one thing that can still knock you off track. Chaos. Life will get messy. Stress, deadlines, sickness, bad news. And the real question is, how do you stay disciplined when everything around you falls apart? That's what this final section is all about. There's something I call the chaos principle. It's simple. Discipline that only works on good days isn't real discipline. Think about athletes training in the rain, writers typing on airport floors, entrepreneurs working from noisy coffee shops. Real discipline adapts. It bends, but it doesn't break. Quick reflection. What's one time when life threw chaos at you and you still showed up? Remember that moment? Pause now and comment below. I showed up even when. And share your story. Here's the first tool for surviving chaos. Micro shifts. When you're stressed, tired, or overwhelmed, don't aim for perfection. Aim for presence. If you normally work out for 30 minutes, do 5 minutes. If you usually journal a full page, write to sentences. If you meditate for 10 minutes, sit in silence for 1 minute. Why? Because momentum matters more than intensity. Skipping entirely is the real enemy. Let that sink in. Even your worst day deserves a win. Pause and type progress over perfection. Each go deeper with science, utilized by productivity experts like James Clear. It states that any habit can be started in under 2 minutes. Here's why it works. Starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, there's a psychological momentum called activation energy. It's like physics. Objects in motion stay in motion. Examples. Want to read? Open the book. Want to work out? Put on your gym shoes. Want to, right? Open a blank document. Remember, you're not committing to finish. you're committing to start. Quick challenge. What is one thing you can do right after this video that takes less than 2 minutes? Let me tell you about Kevin. Single dad, full-time job, barely sleeping. Yet every night after putting his kids to bed, Kevin did 10 minutes of stretching and deep breathing. Not much, but enough to clear his mind. Within a month, his anxiety was down and his focus at work improved. How? He started small, started consistent, started smart. If Kevin can do it, so can you. All right, before we close, here's your ultimate reflection. Discipline is not about being perfect or never failing. It's about showing up again and again. No matter what, it's about honoring your future self more than your current feelings. So I want you to look in the mirror today and say, I am stronger than my excuses. Believe that. Own that. Live that. If you're ready to commit, hit that like button. Subscribe for more powerful habits. And share this video with anyone who needs to hear this message today. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Thanks for watching. And remember, discipline over everything. Just a bit. One habit can change everything.